live now.
Hello, everybody.
1 minute.
How's it going?
1 minute. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Are you guys ready? Are we ready?
Sure.
All right. Hello, everybody. We are live. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be having a couple hour long discussion about keyboards and synthesizers. So Parmesan, what do you think about keyboards and synthesizers?
Let me put my controller down. Keyboard and synthesizers. So keyboards and synthesizers. Well, there's actually different names for these different instruments, right? So let's go back to the piano. Before the piano was the harpsichord or something like that, or I forgot. No one cares. And basically, before that was the weird pump machine that was made by somebody, some emperor that was a Greek emperor in Africa who created the first piano type design, and it ended up going to the harpsichord, all that, and the piano. And now we fast forward, people literally made electronic versions of that piano, and then they made keyboards, they made workstations, and synthesizers, which were really old actually. Keyboards and keyboards and synthesizers, I mean, you can use them interchangeably, but most of the time keyboards are referring to electric pianos or electronic instruments that produce sound, but most of the time you don't really involve synthesis in it. Keyboard is mostly, it has like preset sounds, you just kind of go at it, and most of them are sample based. The synthesizers are, they make their own sound. You can do a lot of sound editing, and they aren't mainly sample based. That's what a synthesizer is. And workstations can be synthesizers, but some workstations are just like keyboards. They're basically just called keyboards because their synthesis is mostly sample based. And some workstations are like sample based, or they're PCM or Romplers, but you can do editing on it, but it's a different type of editing. It just depends on what keyboard it is. And so yeah, I mean, I think all of them are interesting. I mean, you have a lot of different names for different types. There's not just one type of keyboard, one type of synthesizer. There's a lot of different types of synthesis, and there's a lot of different types of things that we can get into. So
I see. What is your overall opinion on these keyboards? What do you think
they're fine.
All right. Now, if you had to choose a keyboard, any kind of keyboard, from keyboard, like, sample-based, synthesizer, or workstation, which one would you get out of the three? All right. Now, can you get, can you explain what can you explain how the synthesizer generates sound, or the different ways it does, possibly?
Synthesis.
It has synthesis. That's how it does it. And there's different types of synthesis, and it gets into a whole bunch of different electronic components and mathematical equations and different types of synthesis waveforms. You know, there's different types of waves, different types of sound frequency. You know, a lot of different generators. You know, a lot of different things. So that's how that's usually that's how it does it. That's just how it does it.
Alright. Now that we're past the basic definition of a synthesizer, let's quickly, talk about synthesizers at length. Alright, so, what I want to say is, let me have a quick say in this. Now, there are, three different types of synthesizers. First one is what Irma was saying, like what is it? PCM?
PCM. That's
PCM, Rompler, and AWM. Now, this isn't necessarily a synthesizer, but you can do a little bit of sound creation, and depending on which one you're using, you might be able to do a lot with the different parameters and effects, or you may be able to just use a waveform and modify.
What's an example? What's an example of What's an example of an advanced Rompler or an advanced workstation? Give me some names.
I would say the Yamaha Motif. The Korg Triton, the Kronos is a workstation, but it's also a synthesizer, so it half fits in there. Let's see here. You got the Roland Phantom, the Kurzweils. I know Kurzweil has some workstations, but that's just to name a few. And then you got the Yamaha EX5 is a good workstation. The Yamaha Montage, the Mod X, all of those. Now, as for the other types of synthesizers, you've got, you've got the semi-synthesizer, and then you've got digital synthesizer. Now, digital synthesizers, what they are plugins on your computer, but they also do sound generation, like a normal synthesizer. So, Parma, if you would kindly, that is not what a digital synthesizer. Okay, I'm talking about VST plugins.
Oh, you're not talking about digital synthesizers, because they have analog and digital synthesizers. A digital synthesizer
about,
example would be a Yamaha SY77. That's a digital synthesizer. An analog one would be a Moog 1 or a Moog, just any type of Moog. Like, that's a...
Alright, I take back what I said. Alright, restart. Alright, virtual synthesizers.
Yeah, VST.
Virtual synthesizers are synthesizers that do synthesis on your computer. They are fully digital most of the time, and they go on your computer screen.
And they look like
this. As you can see on the stream, they look like pieces of paper you find in a magazine. Now, these also generate sound, and you can tweak the parameters to make it sound however you want. These have their pros and cons about them, and since you can control them with MIDI, it's like having a real synthesizer. But a lot of these also caught less than physical synthesizers, so they have their ups, and and then the downs are they're kind of limited to what they can do, which you can code them to do, and they're also limited by storage, and you can't have like hands-on experience. But all that aside, they're pretty good. I use a lot of them all the time. Now, the last one is physical synthesizers. And now, physical synthesizers can be from any synthesizer that's like a keyboard, right? It's like physical. It's a real synthesizer, and it does real synthesis, and it's just in your face. It's a real keyboard. That's what those are.
Hardware versus software. Hardware versus software.
What? Oh, hardware versus software?
No, we don't have to go into that. I'm just saying that it's basically software and hardware, like physical synthesizers are part of hardware.
Okay, so anyway, a couple physical synthesizers that I can list off the top of my head right now are the Korg Minilog, the Korg Op6, the Yamaha.
The Korg R3, the Korg R3, the Korg other one, I don't remember, the Korg Monologue,
The Core, I mean, the Yamaha, wait 1 minute, hold up. Wait, hold up. The Cord, wait.
Did you just...
Wait. The Yamaha SY99.
Okay. Alright, but you get the gist. There are three main types of synthesizers. My personal favorite is physical synthesizers, because you get a hands-on experience. You can do tons more
Hardware synthesizers, like the one I'm using right now. Like the one I'm using right now.
You can do tons of stuff with synthesizers that are physical. Probably more than what you can do with digital synths. Virtual. Excuse me.
Okay. But what is a vocoder and what is a vocoder?
Okay.
So a vocoder and a talk box. What's the difference between a vocoder and a talk box?
Okay, well, I know for sure that a vocoder is kind of like a synthesizer, except it applies the synthesis to your voice, and you can control the parameters. It basically codes your voice to adjust the name vo as in voice, and it codes your voice. It encodes your voice into the sound. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I don't know.
A talk box. Don't you have like a tube, like a thing?
Yeah, the talk box isn't a
something.
synthesizer. It's like a tube with like suction that fits onto your mouth, and it helps you make other kind of sounds like beatboxing. Like if you know who Mr. Talkbox is, he used one of those all the time. So you know, I mean, duh.
Byron Chambers. Yep. Just remember that a talk box uses an instrument like the guitar to create a talking effect, so the vocoder uses a synthesizer to play the human voice. Both
Okay, well there you go.
Sounds, even if they've
Okay,
gone
a talk box
relatively
uses
out of
acoustic
fashion
instruments.
over the years.
Talkbox uses acoustic instruments. Synthesizers, vocoders use synthesizers.
Yeah.
Boom, ding, ding. Okay, so yeah.
So what are
that's
some
the
famous
difference-
Native American
What? What? Alright, so Parmesan IV, what is your favorite synthesizer?
My favorite synthesizer, okay, by what company? Because I really like the
Okay, well,
I'm a big fan of the SY series. I like the EX5. Korg wise, I do like the R3 and the Radius so far. That's been one of my favorites. You know, I like a lot of Korg synthesizers, you know. If I just look up Korg synthesizers. I mean, Korg R3 is the one I'm using right now to talk through. I'm using the Korg R3 microphone right now because I'm cool, and we have to do that in order to live.
whatever Korg Monotron is, the most irrelevant synthesizer.
I don't know. I do like the Roland System 8 isn't really one of my favorites. I do like the way they designed it. The Roland
As you can tell, the
JD800.
Korg Cross is a beautiful keyboard.
The Roland JD800, and if we're including workstations, then the motif and Triton will be included. But since you said synthesizers, like real ones, I'm sticking with that. I do like the Moog 1 as well. The Moog 1 is nice. And yeah. Those are some ones that I mean, there's other ones like Korg M3, but that's not really one of my favorites, you know. I just like those.
I have a couple favorites myself. For one, I definitely like the Yamaha EX5. And the Korg Kronos is definitely, or Nautilus, one of the two. They're definitely some of my favorites. I get their workstations, but from what I've done and seen and research, there's actually synthesis that you can do on them.
Yeah.
And the Moog 1, very overpowered. Very.
Yeah.
Now there's one synthesizer that I just do not like at all, and it's not because of any reason other than the fact it's ugly. It's the Korg Monologue.
Okay. I like the mini log and the I like a lot of Korg stuff, you know. Korg
Now,
like I said, if we're including workstations,
Or Triton.
yeah, 100%, no question about it. And you want to get into the virtual synths, because I got some of those I like.
Here we go. Alright guys, let's get into the virtual synthesizers. Enough about the physical touchy stuff.
1 minute, I gotta put my
Makeshift hat.
my afro beater
What?
Afro wife beater, a cap. I mean, a do rag thing. You know, really important because, like I said, this hair right here, I gotta keep it. You know, not dry.
Oh,
I
another
don't
one of
want
my
it to be
favorite
dry.
physical synthesizers is the Sequential Prophet and the Roland VP330. Those
Mm-hmm.
two are really cool.
Just take this. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What's a really good one? How do you feel about the montage?
The Yamaha Montage. I'd say it's overpriced, but it's still probably worth the money.
It's worth the money. It's worth the money. I'm trying to think.
As for virtual synths, I have many favorites.
Oh, I have tons.
Time to open up Reason 12 in FO Studio. Alright, so as for my favorites,
How did I do this last time?
I don't know.
What about the Moog grandmother?
That's no. Moog is feminist. Change my mind.
Grandmother.
That's just a horrible name. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. All right, so let's talk about these Synthesizers digital synthesizer digital. Okay, so we got on Reason 12 some of the native
Sorry.
the native plugins for Reason 12 consist of a variety of synthesizers. Personally, for the three top favorites that I have is Europa by Reason Studios. And there's another one. Algorithm. It's an FM synthesizer. Very useful.
What about Hybrid? Did you say that already?
I'm going for the Reason specific ones, and then I'll get into those.
Oh yeah, forgot.
And then and then they have another one. It's called Parsec. It's a powerful oscillator with synthesizer. I'm the most tired person on the planet. It's a powerful synthesizer with only 2 oscillators. Now, as for plugins, ow my ears. I'm done. Now, as for any other synthesizer, we have Arturia Prophet 5V, Arturia DX7V,
Yeah.
and Arturia Jupiter 8V or Jupe 8V.
This looks so much worse than it did.
For others, I have a Hybrid, Air Music Technology Hybrid, and Velvet. Those two are really great.
I like
Now,
Air Hybrid
Seen it-
3 is good, you know. Analog Lab 5, no, Analog Lab 3 and 4 are my favorites. I like all the Analog Labs, but those specific ones.
are we talking sample-based plugins too?
Sure.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then Expand 2 is one of my favorites.
The Air is probably one of my top favorites. Analog Lab, Gospel Musicians Pure Synth Platinum 2. Those are good. And if we go to my home screen, oh heck no, what happened to it? What happened to it now? Okay, so if we go to my screen, right? This DX7 plugin I'm starting to like. Augmented strings are pretty good. Not really my favorite. Velvet is good. These two are good. Those are the stuff you can get free when you get Akai. Well, those are some of my favorite non-existent, you know, that exist, but you know, kind of exist. Yeah.
For me, I really like I like Hybrid for a number of reasons. It's just it takes a minute to get a hang of, and that's something to keep in mind if you're buying it like separately from an Akai synth or a keyboard, because Akai does have synths. But if you're buying it and you get a Hybrid for free, I'm gonna just say this: you don't necessarily have to use it. If you're not into synthesizers, then I'd say if you don't have the energy or the willingness to learn how to use it, I would say leave it alone until you do, because it takes a good minute of learning to actually learn how to use it. But not that long. I'd say you probably get used to it in 2 days, but I know some people just want to get cracking right away. So if you just want to hop on MPC Beats and whip up a beat in no time, then go for it. But if you're trying to use a real synthesizer and do some actual synthesis, then just take a minute to learn it because you can't just hop straight into it. You gotta know a little bit, at least a little bit. Because honestly, back when I was using hybrid, I was just tweaking the knobs and everything, like as not knowing what I was doing. But now I know what I'm doing, so it's easier for me. So I'm just giving that as a heads up.
hybrid up.
Well, I have it open right now.
Here is what hybrid looks like.
Now,
And can I make this big ad? I cannot. It's not really an accent, I'm just screwing around. But this
okay.
is Hybrid Air 3. No, Air Hybrid
This is-
3. And, and as
Hybrid
you
Air
can
3.
see...
Stop right now.
So, this is... If you just look at these different things, you need to know... Like, they have it listed, you know, like... The amplifier, the filters.
Mhm.
You need to know what a filter does. You need to know what oscillators do. You know.
You need to know. You need to know what oscillators are. You need to know what the filters are. You need to know what the amplifier does.
You need to
None
know
of
what a
this
you
is-
need to know what a preset is. So if someone's just like, so what preset are you on? And you're like,
Oh, what do you mean? Like, no, you need to know what that is.
Now, here's the thing. Just because this is a lot to list doesn't mean it's a lot to learn. It's very basic stuff that anyone can learn.
correct.
Don't feel discouraged because you see a screen with a whole bunch of moving parts. Trust me, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all just gotta learn some stuff, you know.
Now that we've gone over our discussion of that, now let's talk about acoustic normal instruments. What do you think of acoustic instruments?
Acoustic instruments. Acoustic instruments are... It seems like people aren't really using them as much as they did. And the thing about that is it's bittersweet because it's good to evolve with some of this stuff. I mean, to go farther and change some stuff, but that doesn't mean we should get rid of these analog instruments, because analog instruments is the reason why the digital ones are real. You know, analog actually, a lot of these analog instruments, they produce sound that cannot be like properly replicated. Like, you can replicate it, and it doesn't matter how good technology gets, it's never going to be the exact 100% same, especially in live performances, or especially in like a small room or something, and you're playing like an upright bass. Like, just certain instruments are never gonna lose it, even if people don't want to use it. You know, it's you know, and like, you know, like you can spend $3,000 on a keyboard, right, that produces these super realistic sounds, or you can just use a regular analog instrument. You know what I mean? Like, analog instruments have such a like a deep, warm type sound that you know, it's a lot of people aren't gonna give them up because it's just so much easier to use those than pay a bunch of money for some emulator.
Some of the parts of, like you said, of the instrument can't be replicated, like the upstring of a guitar. You can't really replicate that unless you sample a guitar or play on a guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. So about analog instruments, I personally love analog instruments. I don't really have a lot of them, but they are because analog instruments, like, they produce sound openly. You know, there's no real electronic stuff going on unless it's like one of those amplified instruments that's different. Because most of the time, those are considered electric anyways. I'm talking about, like, you play, like, it's also good for live performances, like drums. Like, drums, you know, like, you don't see anybody use electric drum sets on these, like, super, like, professional stages because it just produces such a sound, you know. You just put mics on it, EQ the mics, and there you go. And it just has such a crisp sound that is not like an electric drum set at all. And then there's always going to be drummers, and most drummers want the real deal. That's the same with the Hammond organs. You can get Hammond organ emulators, but most organists want the real deal. You know, they want to play on the real organ, you know, with the real Leslie speakers. Or, you know, people that play jazz, they don't want to have to use some keyboard or some emulator when they can just You know, and sometimes it's more expensive to get analog instruments. I'm not saying it's always gonna be cheaper. I'm just saying the sound is not. You know, the sound is just kind of. It's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's you can't really compare it. Yeah, it's just incomparable sometimes. Only sometimes. But a lot of the times it is actually. Now I think about it. But there's that. There's analog instruments.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite acoustic?
If we're discluding drums, probably the upright bass or the cello. Probably. Actually, the whole like string line. I like all of them. And I think that percussion instruments are very underrated too. And if you're talking about what like drums, like what cymbals I like. I mean, crash cymbals are fine, but they're not my favorite. I like the ride cymbal and the hi-hats.
All right.
And the China cymbals. I like those over the crash cymbals. I don't care about crash cymbals that much. I like the ride and the China cymbals the best. Yep. One thing that I always wanted to mention though is how not all songs have to end with a crash cymbal. Not all songs have to end with a crash cymbal. A lot of them do. But I think songs that don't end with a crash cymbal are more interesting.
Interesting. As my favorite instruments that are acoustic, I like the acoustic bass. I like the upright bass. I also like the piano.
Grand piano. There you go.
Yes, the grand piano. And now that we're done with our discussion of musical instruments, it's time to make music on camera.
Make music on camera?
Yes, let's make some beats.
Okay.
Alright, so I've got Reason 12 open here. I wish I could share my screen somehow.
I could do that.
Yeah, you know, if you give me the stream code, I could stream mine, and we can have like a No, that's not gonna work. Never mind.
I could just stream the me call.
That's gonna be horrible quality.
I know.
So here we have Reason 12.
Here's the thing about this. I don't know if the stream can hear this.
They can't hear mine, no.
No. Okay, I want to see if the stream heard that. I mean, it doesn't matter. No one's watching it. They were watching it.
What kind of music should I make?
I know.
So here we have Reason 12.
Here's the thing about this. I don't know if the stream can hear this. No, they can't. Yeah, they can't hear that. They can't hear that. Testing.
Hey.
Okay, however it works. The blue Bugatti Racer.
Is he watching? Are you just saying that, or is he actually watching?
No, he was replied to my story.
Uh-huh.
He said, mind sharing with me? He was talking about my cheese and bacon fries.
Bruh! I didn't know Bugatti liked fast food. Whoa.
I didn't know that either, you know? You'd be surprised.
You'll be surprised the different sides of people that can come out of them when you do the right things, man. Why did that sound so real? I'm about to make a dark tripe trap beetle.
So I literally signed out of YouTube, right? This is the stuff that they recommend me. We got Africa's 5 billion mega. Okay. I built a shelter in a forest. Okay. Can't believe people actually still watch those. Give me 24 old drills. I'll make the sharpest knife that will last. Oh my gosh. Beautiful girls moments. What? I feel bad for like new people like coming on YouTube.
You mean people who aren't from America?
There's people that aren't like they're just like younger people that are trying to make an account and this is what they see. What I could do is
That is deafening.
let me answer Axe's question right quick. I don't know if he's still on here. I will answer your question how you stream without Aircast. So what you do, let me turn this volume. So what you do is you download OBS. That's what you do. You download OBS. The end. OBS is free. And you need to get a capture card. So you just plug the capture card up to your computer. Make sure it's like one that works. You know, hooked it up to the Xbox. And, you know, it'll send the signal because the HDMI is going to the Xbox, and then the capture card will allow you to see it on your computer. Download OBS. Set the set where it's going to, and it should pop up the capture card name. And there you go. And then your microphone, set up whatever microphone you have, and also set up anything like your Windows audio. I mean, you need a gaming. I mean, you need like a good PC to do all that. Like a good setup. If you have a game PC, you should be able to do it though.
No. Winter has a laptop and he does it.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying just like a setup that works, that won't crash your host.
Oh.
If your setup is decent and you have a computer and a microphone, you should be in some type of camera if you want your face in there. It should work. As long as you know how to use computers, I mean, you'll be fine. But OBS is that's the app you use to do it.
It's on OBS Studio, I'm pretty sure, online.
Yeah, OBS Studio.
When the dramatic?
But yeah, that's how you do it. And the best thing about that is that, one, you don't have to pay money unless you don't have physical equipment. It's more physical equipment than digital. And yeah, that's how you do it. The best thing about this though is that you could use your microphone. If you have any type of speakers, you know, whatever. I don't know if capture cards record the audio because I didn't get my audio to work on it, unfortunately. For like the game.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. You just have to route it.
Yeah, there's a way to do it, but it didn't work for me last time. For mine, and I don't know why. But there are.
Yeah, I'll show you how next time.
But yeah, that's how you do it, and you can, like I said, add your camera in the corner. You can change. You can delete all the stuff off the screen. Play stuff in the background. So if I want to go to here and I look up my channel or something, right? And you just play this in the background or something.
R1 Italics
22. Right. And you can just like put this off to the side. Like you don't even have to show it.
Every day, every night, the presence of the sky, she stays on my mind all the time.
So. And it makes it easier when you have multiple monitors. If you don't have it, that's fine, but it makes it a lot easier. That's for sure. Okay. I think you can add like a thing to this, but I don't really know.
What do you mean by a thing?
I mean like a where? Like a like a border, yeah, like a border around this. But
Oh, you can.
you said you can or you can't?
You can.
Yeah. I figured you could do that. Oh well. That was let me try to stream on my Xbox. This is the that's how it looks. And I think it's called, oh yeah, there we go.
Zestful and John speaks and spooks.